Porter was working on a book before she died, and Albie Shore was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma?
When put into perspective of the reignition of this controversy in the mysterious passing of Kathy White, it makes you pause a little bit when you listen to the lyrics. At the end of the day, there is a lot of speculation and rumors surrounding the situation, and it is really hard to decipher between what is fact and conspiracy sometimes. We know that Jay-Z has a very close relationship with P. Diddy, who has a reputation for taking out anyone who gets in his way, who is a liability, or who he is jealous of. So I guess I wouldn't really say that it's a stretch to think or question whether Jay-Z could have potentially had a hand in Kathy White's passing, especially with the reputation that one of his best friends, Diddy, has. So that is the gist of the Kathy White situation and some of the rumors and speculations surrounding the Kathy White situation. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a tragedy. A young woman lost her life way too early, and it is very concerning that this woman had a connection to Jay-Z and was ready to go public about their relationship, and mysteriously she passes away before she has the opportunity.
You think the Carters will speak about any of this at all? Do you just feel that they'll make any statement about what's going on?
Beyonce is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say something?
I mean, probably not, considering she's gonna be indicted for anything she would say. These are criminals. Diddy is a dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there.
Miss Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter just donated $100,000 to the BuzzFeed alma mater.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beyonce?
Yeah. Interesting. That Mrs. Knowles, because she's now dropped the Carter, and yeah, she's
Oh wait, she dropped it.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Just listed in Forbes, and now she's donating to her husband's arch enemy's alma mater in Houston, Texas, where all of those families consort and know each other, and country club together and go to Joel Osteen's services from time to time. Yeah.
Here it is again, slowed down. As Queen Bey takes her seat with Molly Meldrum, her dress gathers like it's about to spill some tea of its own.
The Jay-Z victims are gonna be worse. They're worse. Because of the psychological torture that comes along with what he does.
New evidence has just dropped in court that could shake up the Carter household in a major way. Word on the street is that Blue Ivy might not even be Beyonce's daughter. Rumor has it her real mom could be someone Jay-Z had a little extracurricular activity with, who mysteriously vanished after. Talk about a plot twist.
Why did God give me this life? Sometimes overwhelming.
Here it is again, slowed down. As Beyonce eases into her seat with Molly Meldrum, her dress folds, igniting a global frenzy. That little crease had folks everywhere buzzing. After her interview last Sunday, the streets were ablaze with rumors about her pregnancy being a sham. The chatter was nonstop. Was Queen Bey's baby bump real, or was the whole thing a flawless illusion?
But ever since her recent interview on Sunday Night HD, there's been a whole new wave of people saying what must have been a fake baby bump visually collapsed as she sat down. I admit, that did look weird, but maybe it was a weird camera angle. Or maybe she wears extra padding to keep her due date a secret.
because of the way that Beyonce's belly folded when she sat down, many believed that there was no way that that was a real baby bump. There was so much speculation about this situation that even Wendy Williams did an experiment with her audience to see if other pregnant women's bellies folded like that when they sat down.
Beyonce recently, like last Sunday, appeared on an Australian show. And when she sat down, the baby bump squashed, bent, and crumpled.
The reason that I bring this up though is because if Beyonce and Jay-Z were having a baby via a surrogate, it would be a little odd to announce that they were physically with child, unless the House of Carter was trying to cause a massive media PR frenzy to take all of the media attention away from the woman who was just recently alleged in the press to be Jay-Z's mistress, mysteriously passing away. Well, obviously that is just speculation and maybe a little bit of conspiracy, but if it was their intention to take the media attention off of anyone potentially running a story about Jay-Z's mistress passing away, it most certainly worked, because the media and the press were completely zeroed in on Beyonce and Jay-Z's pregnancy from the moment it was announced to the moment that Blue Ivy made her arrival. And at least I personally never even heard about Kathy White until this whole P. Diddy stuff started flipping everything on its head. Go to part 3.
In fact, folks have been diving into her lyrics and stumbled upon something straight up revealing. A subtle yet spicy jab aimed right at Jay-Z. But hold up, it gets even darker. Rumors were swirling about a pregnant woman who was murdered, leaving everyone asking the million-dollar question. If she was killed, what happened to her baby? This scandal had layers, honey, and it wasn't about to stay buried. Enter Kathy White, a name that keeps popping up, adding even more fuel to the fire.
Beyonce couldn't get pregnant. Not naturally, not normally. What I do know is this. When Beyonce got on that stage with that fake baby bump,
Oh yeah.
it was lined up with the same timing of where Kathy White would have been in her second trimester. And when we all watched her get on TV with that fake pregnancy belly that folded over,
Yep.
she sat down, the timeline of when she delivered Blue Ivy lines up almost perfect with the timeline of when Kathy White would have delivered.
Wow.
We all know that Blue Ivy came from a surrogate. They shut that hospital down like a president had just been. And parents who had just had children themselves weren't even allowed to see their own kids for 24 hours.
They bounced my family off the 6th floor and from the waiting room and made them go downstairs and get her.
There's a lot of us that are coming together to deal with this issue. This is not by any means just us.
Because of the security that was locking that whole thing down.
$1.3 million is alleged that Beyonce and Jay-Z, the Carters, paid this hospital to have the right to have their baby there in complete secrecy and privacy.
Okay, so the surrogate was carried out. No one heard her speak a word.
The streets are buzzing with one burning question. Could Blue Ivy really be the secret love child of Kathy White and Jay-Z? And if that's the case, just how far would Jay-Z and Beyonce go to keep their billion-dollar empire intact? The answer is simple: real far.
You think the Carters will speak about any of this at all? Do you just feel that they'll make any statement about what's going on?
Beyonce is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say something?
I mean, probably not, considering she's gonna be indicted for anything she would say. These are criminals.
Diddy is a dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there.
The tea started brewing back in the late 2000s when rumors began swirling about Jay-Z allegedly stepping out on Beyonce with Kathy White. But Kathy wasn't just some random side piece. She was a PR powerhouse with deep connections in Hollywood and the hip-hop scene. The gossip hit the fan in 2010 when Kathy was spotted living it up with Jay-Z and Diddy at Town nightclub in Vegas. And guess who was MIA? Beyonce. Born in Louisiana and raised in Virginia, Kathy had it all. A proud Howard University grad, she was making serious moves in the entertainment industry, brushing shoulders with the biggest names. Fast forward to May 2009. During the weekend of the Manny Pacquiao versus Ricky Hatton fight in Vegas, the city was lit with celebrities, and among the star-studded crowd at the after-parties were Jay-Z and Diddy. And right there, in the mix with her crew, Claudia Jordan and Nikki Chu, was none other than Kathy White.
The article that was published in 2010 included details of a wild night out in Las Vegas with Jay-Z, P. Diddy, Kathy White, and a model named Claudia Jordan. Their evening was said to be filled with gambling, clubbing, drinking, and a lot of PDA. We know Beyonce and Jay-Z had been married since 2008, but Beyonce was nowhere to be seen at this evening out. Once this article, along with damning photographs, were released, an editor over at Star Magazine reached out to Kathy White to try to get her side of the story. This former editor over at Star Magazine's name is Liz Crocken. Liz was writing an article looking into some of the controversy surrounding Jay-Z, his history of cheating and shady behaviors, and she was building a timeline, and she really wanted to hear what Kathy had to say about their alleged relationship. And Liz reached out to Kathy White to hear her side of the story. Kathy White denied even knowing Jay-Z. Once Liz was able to produce photographic evidence, Kathy agreed to consider coming forward and sharing her side of the story. A few days after this initial conversation, Liz had not heard anything back from Kathy White, allegedly. This prompted her to give Kathy White's PR firm a call. Liz was able to reach one of Kathy's employees at her PR firm, and this employee allegedly shared that Kathy White had passed away suddenly and unexpectedly.
Just 2 weeks before Kathy's sudden death, word on the street is that a tabloid reached out, digging into her alleged affair with Jay-Z. The buzz is that Kathy was ready to dish all the dirt for the right price. But before she could go public with the tea, Beyonce stole the spotlight with a huge announcement. She was pregnant with Blue Ivy. That VMA pregnancy reveal had everyone in their feelings, celebrating. But was it all just a happy coincidence? Fast forward 48 hours, and Kathy White was found dead.
When this editor from Star Magazine found out that Kathy White had suddenly passed away, she was completely shocked and immediately wondered if this was not a coincidence. Sources close to Kathy were able to divulge that Kathy had gone to Jay-Z to let him know that she was considering coming forward and sharing her side of the story and her truth of what has been going on between the two of them. Within days of Jay-Z allegedly learning that his alleged mistress was going to come forward and expose their ongoing affair, on August 28th of 2011, Beyonce and Jay-Z announced that they were pregnant with their first child. And they announced this at the VMAs. On September 1st of 2011, just days after Jay-Z and Beyonce had announced that they were pregnant, Kathy White would no longer be alive. There are conflicting reports on the state in which Kathy White was found on that very tragic day. Some sources say she was found unresponsive in her New York apartment, while other sources say that there was a 911 call that came from Kathy's apartment. And when paramedics arrived, they took Kathy White to the hospital because he was extremely ill and then was later pronounced unalive in the hospital. Kathy White's autopsy and toxicology were never released to the public, but ultimately the manner in which Kathy passed was ruled to have been caused by a brain aneurysm. It was also heavily speculated that Kathy White was pregnant with Jay-Z's child at the time of her passing, but with the autopsy never being released, it's not possible for us to confirm that information. If this woman was pregnant, that just makes everything that much more tragic, but I just was not able to find definitive proof or confirmation of this detail, so I will just leave it at that. With Kathy being such a young and healthy woman, it is very shocking to hear that this was the way that she passed. This editor at Star Magazine, Liz, continued to dig into this situation despite the fact that Kathy had passed away and despite the fact that her boss urged her not to continue looking into the situation. While doing her research, Liz allegedly discovered that Jay-Z, the self-proclaimed king of New York, has many NYPD officials in his back pocket. Liz also allegedly discovered that there was a decent amount of coroners in New York City who were willing to rule a very obvious suspicious passing or unaliving as a natural passing for the right amount of cash.
The official cause of death was ruled a brain aneurysm, but the NYPD wasn't so sure at first, flagging it as suspicious and hinting at possible foul play. Toxicology reports were ordered, and whispers started circulating that Kathy might have slipped something toxic before her sudden death. Even a detective speculated that this wasn't just a tragic accident.
Another interesting aspect of this entire situation was Kathy White's friendship with Jason Lee. You all probably know Jason Lee from his very successful podcast where he interviews celebrities and social media stars. Jason Lee is also the founder of the publication Hollywood Unlocked. Jason Lee has long accused Beyonce of knowing exactly what happened to Kathy White.
Does this mean Jason knows the real truth about Kathy White?
Can you imagine how I put that on Hollywood? Like, oh, there's one more thing to eat this shiny. Woo! So that in itself, I think Beyonce could have gave me, you know what I mean? Like, there should be a little love there. Now,
she doesn't know.
She knows. Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're not going to share that.
No. I got the receipts. I still have the receipts.
White is also another figure who is known to be very loud and outspoken about the horrors of the rap industry, has also alluded that Beyonce and Jay-Z are guilty of very sinister things.
Nobody getting no about Beyonce. She's doing far worse things than bleaching her skin. I promise you that. That get divorced because she don't want to be called as a material witness or be named as an accomplice, but it looks like it's too late.
Jaguar writes allude to the fact that Beyonce and Jay-Z will do about anything to make sure their image and brand is protected.
Kathy White's life was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming. And the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think? I mean, I'm just speculating.
More recently, as we know, Beyonce just released her brand new album, and on that album is a track called Daughter. While it is a beautiful song, many are saying that the beginning of this song sounds an awful lot like a confession.
Now, here's where it gets real shady. The theory that Beyonce's pregnancy announcement was rushed just to bury the scandal. Think about it. If Kathy was about to spill the tea about an affair with Jay-Z, and possibly even claim she was carrying his child, the Carters had every motive to jump in front of that bombshell. They weren't about to let that mess hit the media first.
When put into perspective of the reignition of this controversy and the mysterious passing of Kathy White, it makes you pause a little bit when you listen to the lyrics. At the end of the day, there is a lot of speculation and rumors surrounding the situation, and it is really hard to decipher between what is fact and conspiracy sometimes. We know that Jay-Z has a very close relationship with P. Diddy, who has a reputation for taking out anyone who gets in his way, who is a liability, or who he is jealous of. So I guess I wouldn't really say that it's a stretch to think or question whether Jay-Z could have potentially had a hand in Kathy White's passing, especially with the reputation that one of his best friends, Diddy, has. So that is the gist of the Kathy White situation and some of the rumors and speculations surrounding the Kathy White situation. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a tragedy. A young woman lost her life way too early. And it is very concerning that this woman had a connection to Jay-Z and was ready to go public about their relationship. and mysteriously she passes away before she has the opportunity.
And just like that, Kathy ends up dead. But hold up, this ain't the first time Jay-Z's been accused of trying to clean up an affair. This man's been known to silence secrets before, and Kathy's tragic end, it's starting to look like a well-rehearsed pattern.
Another crazy instance that I think about is Jay-Z and Blue Cantrell, and Diddy was obviously in this photo as well, but he is cut out, but he's right there next to Kim Porter. Now, it was rumored that Jay-Z and Blue Cantrell had an affair going on while he was dating Beyonce. Blue Cantrell actually did an interview with Wendy Williams where she talked about sleeping with Jay-Z, and then shortly after that interview released, Blue Cantrell was hospitalized after ranting that she was poisoned on the streets. Blue Cantrell went running through the streets ranting about people trying to unalive her until police took her into custody for a physical evaluation. Blue Cantrell was running around the streets screaming that somebody was trying to unalive her by giving her poisonous gas.
Oh my God! I heard he sounds like a horse blue. Oh my God! They have him locked down. I think so. I think they're in love. I think they're in love. Politics speaking. No, I really do think they're in love. I have a big crush on him though. I'll tell you that much. I still have a crush on him. No, I didn't. No, I'm really selective about it. What? Really. I really like him though. And I don't care who he's dating. I always had a crush on him. If he came in right now, we were all not here. What? I'm just saying. You're in New York. Yeah, okay. And what? When you ran into him and everything was right, would you make that play? I wouldn't turn it down. Let's just put it.
Other mistress that has love child to Jay-Z. Allegedly, I didn't work on that story, but the reporters that did reported that she was paid very well to basically shut up and not say anything bad about them and not acknowledge that she had an affair or this is Jay-Z's kid or whatever.
Because it would devalue Beyonce.
Well, that's what I'm about to get to is that back then it's like, okay, he's all these mistresses, but like, why would he murder Kathy? And he has a bunch, right? You can't murder all your mistresses. And like, what would be the incentive? Remember when I first started just calling her I wanted to interview her, but I didn't realize at the time is that Beyonce was pregnant. The news had not broken yet.
We can't have a mistress and Beyonce.
So, and I also didn't realize that they were crafting one of the biggest publicity stunts to announce Beyonce's pregnancy on stage at the VMAs. When she did her performance at the very end, she turned, oh my God, she's a baby bump, she's pregnant. Like, no, I didn't even know. And I was working in the business, I did not know she was pregnant. That's a big deal for a celebrity because that's gonna get you like great press for the next 2 years, right? Oh, like getting ready for baby, and we did tons
but a
of baby
mistress
covers.
coming out.
So
that's possibly pregnant.
So that's the thing.
Talk about it, Liz.
So that's the thing. But there were reports that she was found after the VMA performance, but I'm pretty sure that I knew she was dead before Beyonce announced that she was pregnant. Now it was 15 years ago. I could have that wrong, but I do remember thinking, why would there be a major motive to murder this mistress? Yes, if she's gonna give me an exclusive on the record, that's a huge problem.
The theories keep coming, and Liz isn't holding back. She's out here saying Jay-Z's day of reckoning is coming. In one bold tweet, she hinted that it's only a matter of time before the world finds out about spirit cooking Jay-Z, implying there's a whole lot more lurking under the surface. And she didn't stop at Jay-Z. Oh no, Liz dragged Diddy into the mess too, throwing shade about his involvement in some sketchy business surrounding his ex, Kim Porter's mysterious death.
Porter was working on a book before she died, and Albie Shore was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma?
And it's not just Liz talking. Jaguar Wright's been dropping hints too, suggesting that both Diddy and Jay-Z are hiding some major skeletons in their closets. But it's Jay-Z who's really feeling the heat, with rumors swirling that a huge, game-changing secret could be his downfall. The pressure is definitely on.
And a federal judge has ruled the woman alleging she was raped by Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs can remain anonymous. The woman says both men raped her at a party when she was 13 years old. Jay-Z's legal team had fought to get the case dismissed, arguing his accuser should have to reveal her name, but the judge disagreed. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest.
A legal victory for the woman who is suing Jay-Z for allegedly raping her when she was 13. A federal judge ruling the woman can proceed with the case while remaining anonymous, at least for now. But the judge also chastising the lawyers representing Jay-Z, accusing them of trying to fast-track the judicial process by repeatedly filing motions to reveal the identity of the Jane Doe to have the case dismissed. The judge writing in a 5-page brief that the Carter's lawyers' relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because the counsel demands it. This latest legal twist coming after the recently filed civil lawsuit by Jane Doe, claiming that Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and P. Diddy, drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl at an after-party after the MTV Music Awards in 2000, while an unnamed celebrity watched. Jay-Z has vehemently denied all the allegations, putting out this statement 2 weeks ago, writing in part, "This is a blackmail attempt." The multi-platinum artist, who was 30 at the time, now a business mogul with decades of hits to his name, with songs like Run This Town.
We are, yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation, pledge your allegiance.
His attorneys have denied everything about Jane Doe's account and pointed to some alleged inconsistencies in her story.
It's not just that this story is a lie and that it's not true. It's provably, demonstrably false. This never happened.
The judge writing that while Jane Doe can remain anonymous for now, she may be required to reveal her identity at a later date to allow Jay-Z's lawyers to collect facts necessary to prepare for trial.
Oftentimes, when someone is accused of a crime like this, the accuser doesn't want to be named, and if they are forced to be named, we have seen certain people decide to drop the lawsuit altogether.
Morgan Norwood, thank you. And Tony Busby, the lawyer representing Jay-Z and Diddy's accuser, says in a statement to ABC News, quote, "I will say that the coordinated and desperate efforts to attack me as counsel for alleged victims are falling flat. We won't be bullied or intimidated." And we did reach out to Jay-Z and his team, but did not get a response.
Jay-Z was low-key backing up his wife, Beyonce, during her Christmas Day halftime performance at the Baltimore Ravens vs. Houston Texans game, even though he didn't show up on the Netflix live stream. A fan caught him slipping into Houston's NRG Stadium. There had been whispers that Beyonce might pull out of the performance due to the heat Jay-Z was catching. But here's the twist. Some people aren't seeing her as the victim in this drama. Nah, they're pointing the finger at her too, accusing Beyonce of being just as complicit in the whole mess as Jay-Z.
Miss Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter just donated $100,000 to the Busby alma mater.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beyonce?
Yeah. Interesting. That Mrs. Knowles, because she's now dropped the Carter, and yeah, she's
Oh wait, she dropped it.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Just listed in Forbes, and now she's donating to her husband's arch enemy's alma mater in Houston, Texas, where all of those families consort and know each other and country club together and go to Joel Osteen services from time to time. Yeah. And come forward. But until they're good for it, I'm gonna keep doing it. The Jay-Z victims are gonna be worse. They're worse because of the psychological torture that comes along with what he does.
Do you think Jay-Z is scared right now?
Oh, he's terrified. He's terrified. He's losing confidence everywhere. But the only confidence he's worried about keeping secure are those white boys that he worked for. That's his only loyalty. Not even to his wife is he loyal.
But what do you think, and just again hypothetically,
if his kids, as young as they are, ask, Daddy, who's that man on TV getting arrested? Isn't that your friend? What would his response be?
He wouldn't respond because he would just laugh and walk away. That's Sean Carter. He doesn't own up to anything. Ever. Gaslights you right in your face. Do smooth. He's a sociopath. He doesn't have any real feelings or emotions. Everything is transactional. You know? I think the only time he's really comfortable and happy in his own skin is when he's laying in the warm embrace of a man. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim Porter?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious. Just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
You're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter, a new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more.
It's funny, when you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling it.
That belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, you know, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
I know nobody would have accepted that bitch.
I think
she went and killed the girl Cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drunk. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her while she was asleep. No snacking on his bitch. Killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls. Impulse control issues? I don't know.
What makes you so vocal? Like,
I'm tired.
He just.
I just want to skip to the end. All the shit is up. All you is weird. Go to jail and let's move on and let Generation Z make their own problems, make their own choices. These kids are living the consequences of what Gen X did and don't even know why they're doing it because everyone's lying.
Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and you know you gotta check out our next video for even more behind the scenes drama. You won't wanna miss it.